Good night, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Hotspot. I'm glad to have your company on this wonderful Thursday night. Again, we've got another huge show lined up for you. It's been a massive week in sports around the country, especially national team sports. The big news coming out this week, the PNG Kumals have been accepted to play in the Q Cup down there in Queensland. So
sport brings us together in many, many different ways, and this is one way it's going to bring Australia and Papua New Guinea closer together as well through rugby league, through the Q Cup. So that's another bonus and advantage to this particular competition, and give our players, the new players, the up-and-coming players, international exposure by playing in Australia, playing international players, and even getting exposed to NRL selectors.
A step in the right direction for rugby league there. That story coming up a bit later on in the show. And the PNG Pepes selected their side for the Six Nations. So after quite an intensive trialling period, so congratulations to them. We join them a bit later on in the show. And also Adrian Lamb speaks to us directly from England. So a huge show lined up for you tonight. Please join me after the break. Marie catches up with Lua Rickis to talk about the PNG Pepes.
Hi, I'm Lua Rickis of the PNG Pepes and you're watching Hotspot.
Welcome back to the show, and after a couple of years absence due to family commitments, PNG Pepes captain Lua Rickis makes her return to the national team, the PNG Pepes, and this is what she had to say when Marie caught up with her earlier on in the week.
Okay. Hi Lua, welcome back. Welcome to Hotspot. It's good to see you back with training with the Pepes.
Yes, it's good to be back and I'm excited about it, yes.
How's the little bub?
He's fine. He's now 6 months and he's getting bigger. Yeah, he's good.
Okay, the girls bonding in well for the Six Nations series?
Yes, well, we've just completed our selection, so there's 12 of us training here and there's 3 girls that are overseas.
Lua, you're not new to international events like the Six Nations, so tell us a bit about what the experience is like.
Well, the Six Nations, you get different countries attending, so you get some countries that are ranked in the world ranking and some that are not. So this tournament's going to be, I think we only have Uganda that's not ranked, but you have USA, Singapore, Sri Lanka, and I think it's Northern Ireland that they're going to be there.
Okay, you've obviously had international meets like this. What number of events now is this going to be for you, international wise?
I'm not sure. I haven't checked. Probably 70.
It's 50 plus.
Yes, I think it's 50 plus, yes.
How does this international tournaments like this help prepare the Pepes?
Well, we get exposed to different competition. So we're used to the Pacific Island, how the Pacific Islanders play, and then you have this competition where you have the Asians and then you also have the Africans. So you have different exposure to different style of play. So it's pretty good, yes.
And I understand you have 3 new girls, youngsters. It's good for the team?
Yes, it's good for the team. It'd be good for them to go out and see like how the other nations play. So it's good for them and it's good for the team as well.
But the inclusion of you also have Raylene back in the team?
Yeah, she's a strong player, so it'll boost the shooting side, and I'm going to be joining the defense, so it should be good.
As a sports mom, how does juggling your career, motherhood, and sports, how's it been for you?
Well, I think I can only excel in my sport with the support from my family. So my husband and my mom and my sisters, they've been a strong support. They've been the strong support behind me coming back into the team. So yeah, I'm thankful to them. Okay,
just a bit about yourself, Lua. How long have you been playing netball, and what got you into playing netball?
I've been playing since I was 16 years old. So now I'm 31. So you can do the maths there. My family's been in netball. So my mom's played netball. My bigger cousin sisters have played netball. So that's where it's been in the family. So it just came naturally.
You also have your sister Winnie playing netball.
Yes, my big sister. We started together. So we started in the same year, 1998, something like that.
If there was another sport you would play, what would it be?
I don't know. Probably basketball or softball. So I've played that. Yeah, I've played softball and basketball. So probably one of those two.
What is your advice to any younger women that are thinking of taking up netball?
Come, it's good fun. You meet a lot of people and then you're surrounded with only ladies. You don't have to worry about, being abused by the boys or, getting pushed around like in soccer or in other sports like rugby. This is where you can be yourself. Come to netball.
Personally, Lua, how would you describe netball for you?
Netball has built me. It's who I am today. Yeah, everyone knows me Lua because I played netball. If I didn't play sport, I'd probably be a nobody, like walking on the street. So yeah, it's put me up here. So I'm thankful to netball.
I'm playing for the Pepes. What is it like for you playing for the national netball team?
It's everything. So that's why I gave birth and I came back, because that's all I love to do. Netball it's in my heart. It's very strong in my heart. So that's why I've come back to play. Yeah.
Coach Annie, the side has been named for the Singapore series.
Yes, it has. It's a mixture of young and experience, so I'm pretty happy with it. Yeah.
Okay. Speaking about the young and the experience, tell us a bit about the three new young players.
Okay, we have Yan Japet Tulapi in the shooting circle. She's only 15, and then we included Courtney Abel. She's 16 in the defense area, and Kimberly Rawali in the big court. Okay, what we did was we saw them during the weekend on the Saturday and Sunday, and these three young girls performed exceptionally well. So we decided to include them in the Pepes team for the Singapore series.
You also have the return of Lua Rikis and Raylene Andrew.
Yes, Raylene, she's been in the squad, but as a non-traveling reserve for the last two outings, so it was good that she has improved with her shooting stats plus her fitness level. So we got her back into the team. She's a very good, strong shooter. So I'm happy that she's back in the team.
Okay. Pepes are here at training now, preparing well towards Singapore.
Yes, the squad has been in training since July, but with the grand finals of the Port Moresby Association competition plus the national titles, our training has been disrupted, but they're pretty fit. We did our fitness testing on Saturday. They're pretty fit, so we're all set to go. Our training will just mainly be of skills work and just to maintain the fitness and do some court tactics.
Okay. Coach, what do the Pepes aim to achieve at Singapore?
Well, at this point in time, we are ranked the highest in amongst the whole 6 nations. We're ranked 17th, and we got USA right behind us, and Singapore, I think, in the 20 or 21. So we should be the favorites going in, and the pressure is going to be on us to perform, and we need to win this series.
Absolutely. So when does the team leave?
Tentative dates on the 29th. We're just going to fly straight to Singapore, and hopefully we'll be able to get a couple of lead-ups before the competition starts on the 1st. The competition runs from the 1st to the 7th of December.
There you have it, a confident Lua Rikis there out of her travel to Singapore with the PNG Pepes for the Six Nations. But as mentioned earlier, the PNG Kumus got accepted into the In-Trust Super Cup down there in Queensland. And please join me after the break for an interview. Welcome back to Hotspot, and as mentioned earlier, I now throw to Marie for that interview about the PNG Kumus and the In-Trust Super Cup.
So now that the Q Cup will be played and will be in the Q Cup in 2014, it's a wonderful blessing for our country. It's a wonderful blessing for the relationship with Australia and Papua New Guinea. Sport brings us together in many, many different ways, and this is one way it's going to bring Australia and Papua New Guinea closer together as well through rugby league, through the Q Cup. So that's another bonus and advantage to this particular competition, and give our players, the new players, the up-and-coming players, international exposure by playing in Australia, playing international players, and even getting exposed to NRL selectors that like to choose them to come on their team. So it's a fantastic opportunity in many, many different ways. Last of all, I would like to give a big, big thank you to Stan Joyce and SB Brewery. Give them a big round of applause. They're the ones that are going to be the major sponsor for the Q Cup over the years to come. They're putting up the money, they're putting up the guarantee, and they're putting it together to ensure that the Q Cup is a success. Because without sponsorship, it's not going to happen. We need those sponsors. And Stan Joyce and SB Brewery have seen that the management of the organisation, and this is very important, it's a win-win situation for all of us. So thank you, Stan, for getting behind the Q Cup. You won't be disappointed. You have the government's full backing as well, because we'll be there to help sponsor as part sponsorship as well to the Q Cup. So we'll work together as a team to ensure that we get Q Cup bigger and better than it's ever been before. So otherwise, to everybody here, to all those supporters and friends of rugby league, this is another stepping stone for our country to take this sport to the next level. And I want to say thank you to the acting chairman and Brad and all the PNG Rugby League board and everybody that's behind it for making this a success for rugby league in our country. Thank you so much.
The Q Cup actually made a offer after a lot of hard work was put into it over the last 2 years. Q Cup made an offer about 2 months back, inviting us to put in a PNG team into the Interest Cup in 2014. PNG RFL over the last 2 months has taken time to go out and consult our stakeholders in this country, because we felt it was a very important decision. We couldn't go into it without consulting our stakeholders. So over the last 2 months, we've taken time to consult the Digital Cup, the government, our sponsors, rugby league stakeholders, the leagues, to discuss and enlighten them on the way forward and the challenges and opportunities this presents. And the general feeling and understanding over the last 2 months in our consultation has been that that is the way to go. Given where we've come from in the rugby league, the history is known, we don't want to dwell on it, but the fact is, as a board, we've realized that to go forward, we need to structure rugby league, structure the organization and the game in the country to capture on the opportunities and challenges presented by the modern rugby league. How it is being run in Australia, New Zealand, all over the world. We have to keep up with the times. We can't keep running rugby league in this country in the manner we've been running, because rugby league, in the last 42 years has gone nowhere. So the challenge that has been faced by the board, in consideration of that, we've consulted everybody as much as we could, and I'm proud to announce that over the last week, the PNG RFL board, in consideration of all the issues that came up in the consultations, actually approved for PNG's participation in the Interest Cup, and it was done last week. So thanks to the board for seeing the vision and seeing the path that we needed to take in approving this initiative. That has been the culmination of 2 years of hard work by Brad and most of us in this room who consulted in one way or another to get this thing done. So we should all give ourselves a hand, please. Thank you.
It's been a tough job over the last 2 years. Don't think it's an easy thing to get into the Queensland Cup competition or into any other competitions in Australia. A lot of hard work over that 2 years, a lot of negotiation. Just to let you know, the Queensland Cup, or the Intra Super Cup competition as it's known, is now rated as the second tier competition to the NRL competition in Australia. So basically it is a reserve grade competition to the NRL. So it's the highest level of rugby league that we can play in as a country or as a franchise in the Australian Rugby League, and the Intra Super Cup is rated as the second best and possibly on a par with the English Super League competition. So make no mistake, this is going to be a tough, hard, physical competition to play in, which is what Papua New Guinea players need. They need that physicality week in, week out, playing at the highest level possible to improve themselves. The other factor as well is that the PNG RFL as the governing body owes it to the players of this country to develop that pathway. The only previous ways that players could progress in a career in rugby league is that if they moved to Australia at an early age, at 8 or 9 years old, and went through the system over there, or they got noticed every 4 years at the World Cup. We've already seen that there's players been noticed at the World Cup, but we can't wait every 4 years for our players to get in front of scouts, to get in front of NRL clubs, to get in front of Super League clubs. We have to do something now. The Queensland Rugby League representatives will be coming up here in November. They'll also be looking at Lae as well, and visiting Lae to have a look at that venue as well. And we're looking at doing some work on the Lae Rugby League grounds as well to bring that up to scratch. So there possibly could be Callabon Stadium. Obviously Lae Rugby League ground is another option for us. And then the challenge is thrown out to other regions such as Goroka and Hagen as well. we would love those venues to get up to scratch. You know, there needs to be some investment, particularly by the local government, in regards to bringing their grounds up to scratch. The long-term plan in the future is obviously Port Moresby will be the base. When you've got a 25,000 seat stadium, then you want to make sure that you use that to its full potential. But we will obviously want to take games around the country in future. You know, we want to play games in Lae, we want to play games in Goroka, we want to play games in Colombon, so that the entire nation can get to see firsthand the Queensland Cup program. So, yes, initially Colombon has been approved as an approved venue to play Queensland Cup games. But yes, we will be also looking at other venues across the country and seeing if we can possibly play any games there in the immediate future as well.
So there you have it, huge news there for PNG Rugby and Rugby League in general in the country. Step in the right direction, I think, for all of us. Please join me after the break. We're joined by Kumul's coach Adrian Lamb with his team over there in England. Welcome back, and unfortunately it's that part of the show where I have to say good night. But before I go, big news coming out of England. Adrian Lamb is over there with the Kumul's boys, and Marie caught up with him ahead of their match against France.
Okay, hi Lamy. The guys are preparing well towards this Sunday's match?
Yeah, so all the boys, we're currently on the bus at the moment, heading to training, and all the boys are very happy in camp. We understand the challenge that lays ahead on Sunday. We met the French team last night in an official civic function with the Lord Mayor of Hull. So it was a bit of a standoff, but it's good. You know, we're out there on Sunday not only for our country, but to earn respect for ourselves and our country against other countries.
What's the temperature like over there?
It's about 6 degrees at the moment. We've gone from about 30 degrees in PNG to 6 degrees over here, and it's pouring down rain. But you know, it's one of the things we've all agreed on once we arrived was that you know, the weather wasn't going to be a consideration. We needed to put that out of our heads. So the field was wet on Sunday when we played Scotland, and that great performance. And it's no doubt it's going to be wet this Sunday against France.
Have the lineup been confirmed yet? The team that's going to be taking on France?
No, we're going to sit down tonight and go through the final squad. We've got a rough draft in mind. You know, this has been a long process in getting here, and it's not about, you know, over the last week. It's been about performances and what we've seen over the last 12 months. And yeah, we've got a pretty good idea, but we'll confirm that probably tonight or tomorrow morning.
All right. Basically, what do the Kumuls plan to achieve from the World Cup?
Well, you know, we've spent a lot of time talking about self-belief and understanding that we need to, you know, play at our maximum potential to reach our potential. And, you know, the French are a Super League team. A lot of their players play professionally week out with the Super League, and we understand that's a tough challenge, but, you know, we also know that if we play to our potential that we can achieve not only beating them, but doing well in this World Cup. And, you know, the quarterfinals are pretty tough achievement to get, but we think we're capable of doing that, and you know, we'll give our absolute best.
Tournaments like the World Cup are good exposure for our players. There's been good news surrounding Enoch Maki and Francis Panyu.
Yeah, absolutely. These players, we've also briefed them that they're putting their family's name out there to the world of rugby league in this World Cup, and you know, everyone's going to be watching it. The last time we came in 1995 when I was a player here, we left 5 players back in Hull who'd signed with local Super League clubs. So we're working around the clock to try and make sure those players also get some exposure. And you know, part of our venture with Team Kumul and our health performance program is to get as many players as we can overseas from Papua New Guinea to give them a life outside of Papua New Guinea in a professional surrounding with sport.
All right. Well, we do wish you and Team Kumul all the best. It's going to be 2 a.m. back here in PNG where we're going to watch the game live. Yeah,
that's fantastic. Look, we'd like to pass on our thanks to all of our Papua New Guinea supporters. And we are getting a lot of faxes and messages, and we're reading them all out to the players. They're up on the wall in the common room, and they see them every day. And they're excited, and they know that all of Papua New Guinea is behind them, and we'd like to thank them and send our love to everyone back home that we're flying the flag here proudly, and we'll do our best and make our country proud.
So there you have it, confident Adrian Lamb there ahead of the Kumul's World Cup opener against France. For all you die-hard rugby league supporters out there, The game will be televised right here on your number one MTV at 2 a.m. on Monday morning. So please stay up, watch the game, and support our boys who'll be doing it tough out there in England. It's a pretty tough pool. I'm sure they'll all want your support. And again, it's been another massive week here in sports around the country. The PNG Pepes were selected earlier on this week, and of course the PNG Palais travelled out earlier this morning. They travelled to Shanghai, China to participate in the Asia Pacific World 7. So we wish you Palais all the best. And down here at the softball field on Saturday, there'll be the Steamship's corporate softball, Pink Ribbon Softball Day, to do some awareness on breast cancer. So if you're doing nothing, please get out here, support the guys down there at Steamship. So, and whatever you're doing this weekend, please stay safe and play fair. And I'll see you same time, same place next week, right here on Hotspot.